Welcome to Leaping Larry's Revolutionary Reading Theatre.
Okay, so today, as I mentioned, we're going to be continuing on with On the Juche Philosophy, which is a compilation work by Comrade Kim Jong-il. Communists love to get fancy. What are you talking about? Shirt's too fancy, Elaine! You look like Trotsky! Hi, Dan Simpson. Thank you so much for the raid, comrade. Welcome in, everybody. You're just in time for the reading. we're just about to start reading On the Juche Idea from Comrade Kim Jong-il here. So yeah, you made it in at just the right time. And then after that, we're gonna do candy. So candy means treat videos. We get a little once we do the politics for the day, we get a little treat on the channel. Welcome in, Raiders. Hey, Robo. Rob, weren't you just here? Stuck and phoned? Hey, Dan, thank you so much. If you don't know, I'm going to be on iDan's stream on Thursday talking about land back. So, you'll want to check that out. Yes, of course, I will. Thank you so much, Dan. Appreciate the raid, comrade. It means a lot. Did he just say, I like Trotsky? No. God, no. I would never have said that. In fact, if you go back to earlier in the stream, we had a big discussion about how horrible Trotsky is. And, yeah, why he was like the proto-Patsock. I have a Trotsky voice, okay? Everybody has seen many people have seen my Trotsky voice. I feel like we should just have a link. I feel like we need a command that's just like Trotsky. There we go. That's a good one too. What day is Larry on iDan stream? I'm going to be on iDan stream on Thursday. Put 10 Trotskyists in a room and you'll get 11 splits. I just like to point out, like, Trotsky, same with Khrushchev, like, the factor that's left out a lot of times when we're talking about Trotsky is the fact that really he had a colonial outlook. Like a big problem with Trotsky was he literally thought that, and huge sections of communists thought that the Western nations in the Russian Empire were more civilized than the Asiatic barbarian nations of the more eastern parts of the Russian Empire. And that was a big problem that's most of the problem that Trotsky had with Stalin was based entirely on that type of chauvinism. And I would wager a guess that Khrushchev as well. That's a big reason for Khrushchev's disdain and jealousy towards Stalin. Was like, hey, all of these Russian people praising Stalin, who's a fucking Georgian, you know? What the fuck? Alright, so let's start our read here. This is On the Juche Idea. This is a treatise sent to the National Seminar on the Juche Idea held to mark the 70th birthday of the great leader Comrade Kim Il-sung in March 31st, 1982. Gonna talk about the Russification under Brezhnev. I do want to do that. I actually was gonna. I have read Fundamentals of Revolutionary Party Building on stream before, which doesn't name names, as comrades in chat kept pointing out. It doesn't name names, but it does discuss the reasons for the overthrow of the USSR and gives the analysis of the factors that that played a role in that. And one of them is, of course, exactly that, Johnny. And points out though as well that that Russification was like something that was again prevalent right from the beginning to a degree. Like, let's not forget that like Lenin and Stalin both, yes, they were Lenin and Stalin both were for, of course, all the nations in USSR having the right to secede, right? And they were for each nation's right to individual development. Now, there was a couple complications, like with the emergence of the Communist International. There was a tendency, of course, the Communist International emerged to guide revolutions until it was realized, like during Stalin's time, that this doesn't necessarily need to be a thing. Doesn't need to be an international center. But then, even with doing away with the Communist International, most of the Eastern European parties still had the habit of doing that, and parties in the West, as I mentioned before, had the habit of still just copying whatever the Communist Party of Russia was doing, even when it involved like actually liberal reforms and shit like this that was actively undermining socialism. And like Stalin fought to have in the Constitution the right to secede put in the Constitution, but he was never able to succeed in that because, again, these traitors to the revolution they infected the party leadership right from the earliest days, right from Lenin's days. They infected the party leadership. It's just that during the early days, the masses were firmly united behind Stalin and Lenin and the party, and therefore whatever like policies and whatever speeches and stuff Lenin and Stalin and they were giving, and or the party in general during that time, the masses themselves were very very good at closely following that policy and implementing that policy through the state organs. And then what happens later on is with Khrushchev's de-Stalinization campaign, you have now a divorce between like the masses and the party. They're no longer inspired by the party, and suddenly they're not implementing any policies of the party. And Khrushchev and the party looks at this and says, you know, this is a serious problem. How can we overcome this? Oh, well, we have to get, unfortunately, their mistake was, their analysis is the wrong one, where they believe they basically have to entrench themselves more in bureaucratism rather than do something like China or Korea did, which was implement the mass line. You know, USSR never created anything like the mass line. And so instead they get steeped in like bureaucratism, and they see like, oh, production is stagnating because they're still using the GDP as their primary unit of measurement, when instead they needed something different, which Stalin tries to point out in Economic Problems of Socialism in the USSR. And so with this divorce and this continuing entrenchment of bureaucracy, the people get more and more divorced from the party until, from their perspective, it's no longer a workers' party that is like made up of the most advanced detachment of the working class. It's just a party that somewhat resembles what they're learning about in very flowery media that the West parties are like already. So then they get it in their heads that they could have they could bring capitalism and still maintain a lot of the like socialist aspects, and still have capitalism come in. And of course, they really got it then, you know, as we know. So like Gorbachev was like and Gorbachev was really like an inevitable outcome of these mistakes and these counter-revolutionaries that were entrenched in the party right from the very beginning, right from Lenin's day. It just so happens that in those early days, Lenin and Stalin and the party in general was so inspirational, and the people had more experience with what existed before, that they were just more voluntarily following the party's policy. And when the people, like when Khrushchev engaged in de-Stalinization campaign, and they less started following the party policy, instead of trusting the masses more, the party made the mistake of distrusting the masses and thinking that they had to do what they saw was right for the masses. And so Stalin's constitution never passes. The other nations never have the right to succeed. And what's more, the other nations are expected to essentially follow whatever the Communist Party of Russia was doing. And then because of these malpractices, they were then able to also, and this is part of what fools people as well in USSR and Eastern Europe at the time, they were also able to portray communism as like this bureaucratic thing and this like very like this very like rigid thing, because that's the way they were, that was the mistakes they were making, right? It's not that the rigidness and the bureaucratism is inherent to Marxism, Leninism, or to socialism. It's that these were mistakes that were set up and never resolved, and therefore they just kept getting worse and worse. Until it unfortunately led to the overthrow. You know, I do push back a little bit against the I push back a little bit against like the tendency of some Western communists, and I get it's well intentioned, but some Western communists are very hesitant to say the USSR collapsed, right? And I get why, because the idea is that it just collapsed because socialism is untenable and stuff like that, is the narrative we get from the bourgeoisie. But the fact of the matter is that the fact that it was like able to be overthrown represents a collapse, right? Like it's a collapse of their ability to engage in revolution, to maintain revolution, to continue. So it was eroded and stuff like this, but it was dismantled. But it also, your socialist society has to be able to defend against those attempts to dismantle it, right? And that's why you can't place it all on the external factor. The internal factor is a huge reason for it. No, oh yeah, NTC, and I mean that's something that is a definite consideration. And I think if you read Stalin's economic problems of socialism in the USSR, you'll find like Stalin is talking about that himself, right? Stalin is literally talking about how we need a new measure of society. We need a new theory pertaining to our new conditions under socialism. So, yeah, entirely possible. Entirely possible Stalin was poisoned, for sure. He was, again, he was at the time a very inspirational figure, and the masses were just following what he was doing. And the reactionaries and traitors in the party could not stand this. They hated that, right? And that's why they make the secret speech, which isn't made public until after the overthrow of USSR, which is, of course, used as ammo, anti-communist ammo, to this very day. But yeah, we do have to recognize that the USSR, to some degree, did collapse in the sense that it was not able to defend itself against these counter-revolutionaries and these other elements. And I mean, look at how hard everybody, like, look at how hard other revolutions have been. It was due to, of course, being the first one, not having experience, etc. Of course, but those are still internal mistakes, right? That really led to it. If your internal forces are prepared sufficiently enough, then you can withstand that type of thing. Look at DPRK or Cuba or China, right? Like they continue developing socialism because they were able to withstand those things. They prepared the forces properly. What is up with this camera?
To say that socialism doesn't work is to overlook the fact that it did work, and it worked for hundreds of millions of people.
This autofocus shit. Here, look at my clearly Canadian again. Nectar of the gods. Sometimes it wants to work. One dumb question I may want to discuss Thursday is, was USSR a land back movement? Perfect. Perfect discussion. Of course it was. Of course it was a land back movement. Which, yeah, we'll get to on Dan's stream. I don't want to like I don't want to like spoil it too much before we get there, but yeah. Definitely USSR was a land back movement. Yes. And you want to hear me explain why? Tune into iDance stream. I'll save it till I talk about it there, and then I will start discussing it on here all the time as well.
It's all for one motherfucker and one motherfucker
Damn
for all
camera.
motherfuckers everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Rylan. Thank you. Very much appreciate that. I don't know why this camera like won't zoom in. Like, hello, I'm over here. I'm back here, you know? Okay, let's read this. We will soon welcome the 70th birthday. I know, I don't mean to tease, but think of it not as teasing so much as I'm edging you, getting you ready to burst when you watch it on iDance stream. Then when I finally give the answer on iDance stream, you'll all be like, oh. Trust me, it'll be worth it. It'll be so worth it. Somebody did a 420 redemption and I didn't have weed yet, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get the weed prepared while I start this read. I don't know what my camera's doing. This is ridiculous. Come on. Look, I'm back here. Oh, I did it. Okay, sweet. Okay, so here we go. Let's read On the Juche Idea by Comrade Kim Jong-il. That nail. Need to two-finger it. It's true. I often do. We didn't discuss a time yet. I mean, yeah. Well, we kind of did. I said if I'm already streaming, we'll just raid iDan, and then I'll go on iDan Simpson stream, and we'll do the talking, and then whenever we're done that, I will eat lunch and smoke a big joint, and then I'll start streaming again. Head towards the white light of the monitor. It should pick you up again. Good idea, Dave. Yeah. I have thought before that a good way to solve it would be to switch my light up above to white for a second and then switch it back to color. I know that can sometimes help. All right, so this the chat is very unruly right now, so I'm ignoring the unruly comments. I'm laughing at them quietly in my head, though. So we're gonna read this. This is a treatise sent to the National Seminar on the Juche Idea. Gooning? You wouldn't goon. You wouldn't be like Mansers, right, Bub? It was held to mark the 70th birthday of great leader Comrade Kim Il-sung. So keep in mind when we listen to this intro, this was during a thing celebrating his 70th birthday. Keep that in mind with this intro, please. And you know, we will talk about the role leaders and leadership plays in the revolution at some time in the future. Perhaps when we read another work. Or perhaps later in this work we'll talk about it. I think it's a very misunderstood question among communists, you know? And then once we're done this one, well, no, this is written by Kim Jong-il. Not Kim, so this is written by Kim Jong-il, not Kim Il-sung. And the important thing about this work is it's really like Kim Il-sung, this is what, you have the Juche idea, and then you have the Juche philosophy. which is like the work of synthesizing Juche idea into a complete philosophy, which is the contribution really that Kim Jong Il made. Kim Il Sung sort of helped materialize the ideas by taking inspiration from his father's philosophy of aim high and Marxism-Leninism, and then turning that into the Juche idea. And Kim Jong-il really turns that then further into the Juche philosophy by formulating, like putting it all into like an actual philosophical lens, like. So that's a big contribution. We will soon welcome the 70th birthday of the leader. It is very significant that, to mark his 70th anniversary, we are holding a national seminar on the Juche idea. Get your pants back on, Bob. This seminar has assessed with pride the ideological and theoretical achievements made by the leader in leading our revolution and construction for more than half a century, and has powerfully demonstrated again the greatness and correctness of the Juche idea. The Juche idea is the precious fruit of the leader's profound, widespread ideological and theoretical activities, and its creation is the most brilliant of his revolutionary achievements. By creating the great Juche idea, the leader opened up a new road leading to victory in the revolution before the working class and the masses of people, and brought about a historic turn in the fulfillment of the revolutionary cause of the people. The history of the Korean Revolution, pioneered and led by the leader, is a glorious history, which records the splendid application and overall victory of the great Juche idea. The Juche idea represents an invariable guiding idea of the Korean Revolution and a great revolutionary banner of our time. At present, we are confronted with the honorable task of modeling the whole society on the Juche idea. The objective of this historic cause is to complete our revolution, which is developed and triumphed under the banner of the Juche idea. In order to realize this cause, all party members and working people should clearly understand the truth of the Juche idea and think and act strictly in accordance with its requirements. Only when one is firmly armed with the Juche idea and advances under its banner would it be possible to emerge victorious in the revolution and construction, surmounting all difficulties and trials. This is the conviction which our people have acquired through history and revolutionary struggles spanning over half a century. And later in this work, we are going to, I hope by the end of this work, you will understand what the term applying the Juche idea entails, because that's what this whole work is going to be dealing with. Availing myself of the opportunity provided by this meeting of social scientists and theoretical information workers from, I always do that, from all over the world, from all over the country who gathered here to debate on the Juche idea and its great victory on the eve of the 70th anniversary of the leader's birthday, I would like to refer to the questions related to the principles of the Juche idea. So today we're going to deal with part 1, the origin of the Juche idea. A progressive idea plays an important role in socio-historical progress. When the masses are guided by a progressive idea, they can be a powerful creator of history. Of course, it does not mean that all progressive ideas play the same role in social historical development. Their role is different according to how they represent the aspirations and interests of the masses and how correctly they show the path which must be followed in the struggle. There were ideas which reflected the aspirations of progressive classes, of society, even before the emergence of the working class. But, due to their historical and class limitations, the trends of thought in the past age could not but be hampered in the role they played in social development. The revolutionary ideas of the working class alone can correctly reflect the demands of the time and the aspirations of the masses, and give a powerful stimulus to socio-historical development by inspiring the people to wage the revolutionary struggle. And if you want to like a concrete example of this, for example, like let's get down to an individualist like example of this in action, right? It's not inherently revolutionary to feed people, right? It's not inherently revolutionary to give charity, for example. Lots of church groups and lots of religious groups, lots of fantastic church groups. I'm not saying that they do anything bad or what they do is not good, but what I'm saying is that inherently just like the church feeding someone or any organization just feeding someone is not by itself revolutionary, right? Like you have to pair the revolutionary practice with revolutionary education, right? And your goal when in addition to feeding people is the ability to better educate them, because now they're not worrying about hunger so much, right? But ideological struggle has to be an aspect of that as well. So we could say feeding someone isn't revolutionary unless you also are able to radicalize them, right? At that moment, it becomes then something where you are creating cadres or potential leaders of the revolution. Because the other thing we have to realize is that the revolutionary ideas of the working class are originated by distinguished leaders. Sounds like great man theory, doesn't it? But it's not. Because you see, just because, and let's be clear here, Marx and Engels and Lenin, like, you know, the ideas that they put forward, sure, a lot, and just like with what I said earlier about philosophy, with anybody's ideas, there's a certain amount of inheritance and there's a certain amount of originality, right? It cannot help but be otherwise. Because human consciousness is a social consciousness that exists purely through the intercourse with other humans, it is, of course, therefore natural that any of our ideas, even the most original seeming of ideas, is going to be a reflection of ideas that are in society in general, right? So when we're talking about these leaders, yes, Marx was able to sort of synthesize it in a way that, as we know, nobody else in his time did. Let's be real, right? And as a result of that, Marx was able to inspire many, many people to the historic cause of socialism. Do you deny that? Are you going to deny that Marx played that role? If you do, please in chat, make the argument now. I would like to see how you deny that Marx played a very important role in advancing that historical struggle, just as Engels did, right? Now, that's not to say that everything they said was perfect or correct, but simply to say that their ideas did play a serious material force in affecting society. Lenin too, right? Lenin, of course, again, many of the ideas he had was probably being funneled from elsewhere. But he was able to put it in a way that inspired a great number of people. Hold on one second. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Bye. Ooh. My fiance is coming home for a little visit, I guess, or coming home to see the cats for a second. Oh, crap, shut up. Shut up. There. And picking me up some Lebanese food on the way. Very excited for that. Thank you, comrade, who has sent to PayPal and enabled me to get Lebanese food. Very much appreciate that, comrade. Thank you. You know who you are. If you're in chat right now, you know who you are. Thank you. I appreciate you, comrades. Looking forward to some Lebanese food. Thank you. So, Lebanese shawarma. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. Well, I'm getting not a shawarma wrap, but I'm getting a shawarma plate with some fries and a couple falafel on the side. Oh, wait, I gotta text her and tell her to make sure to get tabbouleh. Hold on. Text her. Oh no. Stop talking. Every time I turn it on, my own voice is talking back at me. Hold on. Tabbouleh salad too, please. Yeah, tabbouleh emergency. Hold up, hold up, hold up. I gotta make sure I get that tabbouleh salad with it. I don't know if I should switch this to SMS. I should, I think, maybe. She'll get that, I think. And for chat? Oh, fuck. Damn it, I just sent that to the wrong person. Hold on. Oh my goodness, I'm panicking. Panicking for the tabbouleh now. Panicking about the tabbouleh here. Hold up. Hold up. We got a tabbouleh panic going on here live on stream. I'm starting to sweat. Starting. Some turn up the heat in here or what? Jesus Christ. I literally have to turn the heat down now. Hold up. Get the tabbouleh sweats, everybody. Tabbouleh panic at the disco here. I'm getting all sweaty thinking about the tabbouleh. I might have to call her. She's not answering the text. She's not seeing the text. Oh no, we can't get lucky. Hold on. I'm so No, what the fuck? Oh my god, wait, okay, hold up. Men would really rather panic about tabbouleh than go to therapy. You don't understand. It's tabbouleh. It's tabbouleh. All hands on deck. Everybody start texting. Somebody message Soda. Message Soda Time Monster. Hold on. I gotta switch this to hold on. Panicking. Panicking. What's that thing? SMS. I need to switch this to SMS chat so I make sure that she gets the message. How do I do that? Oh my god. What the details? Only send text as SMS. There we go. Okay. Let's try that again. My god. Alright, I send SMS, that's all I can do. Should I try calling one more time, maybe? One more time, just to be safe. Press the tabbouleh button. I want to. Okay, last try, last try. See, we're in between paragraphs, it's okay. Call the store. Yeah, excuse me, when someone comes in for a shawarma wrap, could you please make sure that they get the tabbouleh salad with it? Ah, we're fucked. Fuck the demagogues! We're fucked. We're fucked, comrades. It's all over. Pack it in. I'm ending stream. If I don't get my tabbouleh, there's gonna be problems. She's not watching either. She isn't watching the stream right now. I know. Oh yeah, no tabbouleh for you. It's gonna be up in the air. It's gonna be up in the air. We're gonna wait and see. I feel like right now, what you're witnessing here right now is like a live version of the Newlywed Show. You know, it'll be like, how well does my fiance know me? Will she just let them give me the house salad, or will she get the tabbouleh salad like she knows I would want? Well, find out soon. Lop does know everything, Ree. I'm not pranking I'm not pranking anyone, Bop. I was calling my fiance to try and get make sure the tabbouleh is coming. So we're gonna find out. It's a tabbouleh shitstorm, yeah. Feel that, comrades? Tabbouleh pressure is rising. Alright, allow me to continue the read. Little tabbouleh sidetrack there. We're soon gonna find out if she knows. Yeah, I don't want that salad. I don't want the fatosh salad. Give me the tabbouleh. I gotta have the tabbouleh. You don't understand.
You know what a shit barometer is, Bob? Measures the shit pressure in the air. You can feel it. Listen, Bubs, hear that? Sounds of the whispering winds of shit.
Dialectical tabboulehism. Fuck yeah, that's what I'm all about. That we're dialectical tabbouleists here, and we're gonna soon find out if my fiance is or not. Like, yeah, that's a cliffhanger for you right there. Because like when you order it from the place, right? They have all the food laid out in front of you, and they start like dishing it up. So we'll see if is she gonna stand there and let them scoop fatosh salad onto my plate, or is she gonna tell them to give me the tabbouleh? This is entertainment. Cigarette butt, it kinda is. They came for the fatosh salad and I said nothing. Tabbouleh is the truly revolutionary salad, and we all know it. Okay, let's be real. Let's be serious for a minute. Oh no. That might have been too soon. That might have been too soon. Jesus Christ. I wouldn't want someone to point a gun at me, Dan. I would not want someone to point a gun at me. I think I'll avoid lighting myself on fire. Jesus. Too soon. Dan, didn't you know? Didn't you know that the secret to comedy is tragedy plus time? You appear to have forgotten about the time part. We are having a salad war. Well, I know what salad I'm backing. Tabbouleh, I'm assuming. Right, Dimitri? Of course, it's here for the salad. I gotta have that tabbouleh, you don't understand. Alright. I'll keep reading to you now, while we wait in suspense for the tabbouleh to come, or not. At least I'll have falafel, but... Oh. I'm sorry, Cinnamon. We gotta take a poll if it actually comes through. Okay, if it's Tabbouleh, we'll do a poll about... Actually, here we go. Even better, even better. We will get through this reading. Don't worry, it's not that long of a part. I got a better idea, though. We're gonna do a prediction. We're gonna do a prediction. We are reading Kim Jong-il's On the Juche Idea, Dimitri. Okay, here we go. There's a prediction in chat. Here's your chance to earn some labor vouchers. You got a chance to earn some labor vouchers. Will Larry get tabbouleh salad? Of course, or oh hell nah. You can predict now. And this is a good chance for some people to earn some labor vouchers because, as you know, the community challenge for the month was you wanted me to play Cuphead. So I'm gonna play Cuphead. Not just play Cuphead. I'm gonna play Cuphead crowd control, which means you can use your labor vouchers that you earn from watching me, or you can use biddies in order to actually affect my game of Cuphead, which means like you'll be able to like flip my screen upside down, change my controls around, kill me instantly. Cuphead will be fun. So yeah, here's your chance to earn some labor vouchers for that. Bree asks, the hubby just left for work to the Arab restaurant, but son is homesick, so can't go anywhere with him. Oh, darn. How does Ree earn a gifty? I assume there must be a generous comrade in here, right? Who enjoys my work or finds me entertaining and would like to gift Ree a subscription? Right? Someone. Hey, Average Joe, welcome in. Welcome in. I suppose we won't call you Joe Schmo, don't worry. This is a little reference to a video we watched the other day. Can I use channel points? Not to subscribe to me, unfortunately. But you can use channel points when I play Cuphead in order to cause me pain, if that's what you mean. I wish. If I like actually was somebody who had money and like, you know, wasn't trying to prevent the loss of our hosts, I would have that as one of the redeems, but it would be an enormous amount of channel points. So maybe one day, who knows. All right. Let's continue our read here. While you all are thinking about whether I'll get to bully or not. It can be said that the history of the communist movement, spanning 100 and scores of years, is a history of working class leaders creating and developing revolutionary ideas. A history in which these ideas have been applied to transform the world. In the mid-19th century, Marx and Engels propounded Marxism. Thus, they highlighted the historical mission and a path of liberation that had to be followed by the working class that appeared on the arena of struggle and stimulated the fight against capital, ushering in the rise of the international communist movement. Lenin developed Marxism and advanced Leninism in accordance with a new historical conditions, whereby capitalism had entered the phase of imperialism, with the result that he inspired the working class and the rest of the people to the struggle to destroy imperialist strongholds and to achieve freedom and liberation. Fucking Amy Schumer. This marked the beginning of transition from capitalism to socialism. Our leader created the great Juche idea after acquiring a deep insight into the requirement of a new era when the oppressed and humiliated masses of the people become masters of their own destiny. Thus, he developed their struggle for independence onto a higher plane and opened up the age of Juche, a new era in the development of human history. The revolutionary idea of the working class emerges as the reflection of the mature demand of history and the revolution in their development. Aye, welcome in. When the leader embarked on the road of revolution, a new development was taking place in the struggle of the working class and the masses against exploitation and oppression. On the world arena, the influence of socialism, which had won its first victory, grew strong, and the revolutionary struggle of the working class and the liberation struggle of the peoples in colonies and semi-colonies were intensified sharply. In an attempt to stop the revolutionary advance of the masses, weather the serious political and economic crisis they were passing through, the imperialists further increased their plunder and oppression of the people. In many countries, contradictions and antagonisms between revolution and counter-revolution were intensified, and the masses of the people whose sovereign rights had been trampled down for a long time rose up in a struggle for their class and national liberation. A new age was approaching, in which the revolutionary movement made progress in a broad and diversified way on the worldwide scale. Actually, we just talked about this a little while ago. A new age was approaching, in which revolutionary movement made progress in a broad and diversified way on a worldwide scale, which is why I remind you that there's lots of places and people who don't consider themselves to be Marxist-Leninists necessarily, like Frantz Fanon, or like, as we pointed out, the Chavez movement, that are able to, that it is possible for these places and those people to build and contribute to revolution and socialism despite that, right? And we need to recognize and we need to analyze whether people contribute to the revolution or not based on what label they give themselves, but rather we need to give it based on what their practice is, what their ideas are. Their ideas that are, of course, most nakedly revealed through their practice. But like in the case of like Chavez movement and other places, it would absolutely be because socialism is a science, it would be possible for them to build a socialist society without reading a word of Marx at the end of the day. And they can advance with their own leaders and their own ideas and their own inspirations that relate to their own experiences and their own history, right? Because, like, remember, the major thing that Marx understands or that Marx elucidates is the fact that the masses themselves build socialism. And the masses, and a lot of like Marx and Juche's analysis is a description, right? Not necessarily a prescription, necessarily. It's a description of how, when guided with a progressive ideology, the working masses inherently develop towards socialism, which is why in the language of Marxism and in the language of Juche, we call that progressing, right? We call them progressives, that they're progressing. And that's why we call the ones who fight against that progress, that's why we call them reactionaries, because they're reacting to the progress and trying to stop it from happening. Right? That's where these terms come from. The discovery that Marx made that as long as the working class is in control, oh God, the KKE. Good God, don't even get me started. Do you know how many people I have had to have red face arguments with about the KKE, Dimitri, who insisted that the KKE is like the most revolutionary of any party that hasn't achieved socialism in their country yet. I'm like, what the fuck? I have read a lot of their programs and I realize that is absolutely not the case just from reading their fucking programs. So fuck off. It's like saying this, like, God, you might as well say that about like the Canadian Communist Party. What? Because we have conferences where we invite other international parties. Sometimes the Canadian Communist Party goes to Cuba, so therefore it's the most revolutionary party in the West. Like, fuck off. I'm reading the programs. I know they're not. Yeah, I relate to that very much. In order to advance the revolution under the new historical conditions, the working class and the people of every country, conscious of being the masters, had to solve all problems in accordance with their actual situation. In our country, this was a particularly important matter because of the peculiarities of historical development and the complexity and arduousness of the revolution. And like the big reason why he's saying it was such an important requirement in the Korean Revolution was because they had a huge problem with flunkyism and dogmatism. They killed all the good leaders in World War II or just displaced them to USSR. Just a party of failed children whose parents were traitors. Yeah, that tracks. That tracks. I mean, the Canadian Communist Party as well, because a lot of them... Oh boy. I'm gonna come right out and say it, aren't I? I'm just gonna come right out and say it. The communist parties here are largely influenced by, in Canada in particular, the Communist Party here is largely influenced by Khrushchevites and these type of communists who are exactly what I was talking about, like Trotskyist, essentially. Trotskyists without calling themselves Trotskyists, right? Because, like I explained before, Trotskyism really is just white European chauvinism, but for Europe. You know, that's what it is. Or for, rather, the Russian Empire in particular. Because like I was trying to point out before, like Trotsky never had any original correct analysis, right? All he did, anything correct that he said, other people already said it. And anything original he said was wrong. And a big reason why Trotsky hated fucking Stalin, like the main reason why Trotsky hated Stalin had nothing to do with anything that Stalin did or any of Stalin's policies or anything like that. The main reason why Trotsky hated Stalin was because of chauvinism. Because Trotsky saw himself as a European, a Western Russian, a Ukrainian, and he saw Stalin as being an Asiatic, barbarian Georgian man who was just a subject of the Russian Empire, not fit to lead the revolution. Which, by the way, is the basis, as I pointed out earlier, the basis of Trotsky's permanent revolution is the idea that civilized Europeans had to teach all of the more uncivilized people how to do revolution. Like the joke that we always make is that Trotsky wanted to get all the Lego sets before he built them. But that's really inaccurate. What he really wanted to do was make sure that the western part of Russia, was the one leading the revolution, because he didn't trust these other people who were formerly colonized by Russian imperialism, right? And again, Stalin having the Orthodox background, because he was your typical radical atheist as well. Funnily enough, which by the way, Dmitry, was a big part of his distrust in the peasantry. When Stalin and Lenin realized that they had to make this alliance with the peasantry if they were going to have the numbers and what they required in order to actually have a successful revolution, Trotsky fought against that because he thought that the peasantry could not participate in leading the revolution or participate with being led by the working class because they were backwards, was his idea. So he wasn't just chauvinistic against people from eastern parts of the Russian Empire, but he was also chauvinistic against working people. Which is why I think that one Seinfeld episode with that Trotskyist guy in it is so funny with the way he talks about Kramer working at the store, right? How he's like, anybody who works here is a boob, because that's exactly the way Trotskyists like thought about certain workers that he deemed were like, well, the peasantry in particular. And I maintain that Khrushchev, as I said, Khrushchev is really just, although he might not have called himself Trotskyist, think about it. Khrushchev is also from Ukraine, right? He also has that same outlook. And that's a big reason why I think Khrushchev hated Stalin the way he did and like created this secret speech. Larry David is a Stalinist? Unfortunately not. Look, I do have a guilty pleasure show, which is Seinfeld. That's one of them. I'm not gonna lie. It is my guilty pleasure show. But yeah, Larry David is a fucking Zionist. We know that. As is Jerry Seinfeld. Motherfuckers. It's like Fran Dresser. But I do like my Seinfeld, I'm not gonna lie. Oh yeah, well, if you want to know where the Trotskyists went, Barry, they became neocons. If you're wondering where the Trotskyists went, they just became neocons, actually. That is their theme song, Sam. That is their theme song. Yep, sad reminder, but yeah. Which just speaks more to the whole thing about settlers not being able to be revolutionary, but you know. The Daily Worker, let me ask you something. Does he wear a lot of drab, olive color clothing? These clothes are too fancy, Elaine. Can't you look like a successful communist? You look like Trotsky. Good! Oh, God. In order to advance, well, the big shift was LaRouchites. The big shift was LaRouchites, Barry. The Trotskyists all became part of the either neocon pipeline or they become part of LaRouchite organizations. That's what happened. That's where the big shift was. Oh, it's here. Oh boy, it's here. We're gonna find out. What? Okay. Yeah. Of course they did. Okay, the food's here. Let's see. Let's go see. Who did? Yep. Comrades. Wait, I'm meant to do this light. Hold on. Comrades. Turn on the light. Holy shit. Holy shit. Bam. What? Who did not have faith in my fiance? Who was the detractor? Yeah, of course it is, Bob. They're probably running low. Who was the detractor? I'm just kidding. The voting's anonymous. Oh wait, no, it's not. It's not anonymous at all. Okay, choose outcome. Looks like number 1 wins. Larry got his tabbouleh salad. Enjoy your labor vouchers, everybody. Oh shit. Doc Hollywood. What's up? What's up? Thank you, thank you. Why didn't... Okay, I feel like my raid message didn't go off that time. Welcome, everybody. Hey, thanks for the raid, Doc. We just had a very suspenseful event here. There's...
Let's go, smokes. Let's go, smokes.
Holy shit. Everything's coming in at once.
It's all for one motherfucker and one motherfucker for all motherfuckers everywhere. You know
Alright,
what I'm
Meg, I'll
saying?
smoke after I eat.
The People's Revolution!
We'll smoke after I eat. Thanks so much for the raid, Doc Hollywood. Thank you, thank you. Not much. I just had the comrades on the edge of their seats wondering if I was gonna get tabbouleh salad or not. I said it was gonna be like that Newlywed show, and what do you know? I guess we would pass the Newlywed show or something.
He's a communist.
Oh, really?
Yep.
She got
big
it, she got
communist,
it.
Big communist.
Oh.
You have to refresh it sometimes when it does that. Okay, it's broken. Is that a Caesar? No, this is tabbouleh. It's tabbouleh, Barry. The best salad. It is the best salad of all. Okay, so let's see. This is page 18. Okay, we will finish this after I eat. We're on page. We will finish this after I eat. In the meantime, we are going to watch together.
I would have been friends with Stalin.
Tell you more. What about tabbouleh salad? It's the best. It's parsley. It's tomato. It's onion. It's quinoa. Fucking delicious. And then of course I got my shawarma plate here as well. I'm gonna do a lunch break. We're gonna watch this thing that I got here. Invite someone to read while I eat. I would.
The revolution
I would.
that feeds the children gets my support.
If somebody else had control of the screen, or I guess I could do the thing. Feed you? I would. I would do that. I do like beans and rice though, Cinnamon. Yeah, robot reader. I never like the sound of them though. We'll come back. So we're on page 17. What do we want to watch while I'm on lunch? While I'm eating my lunch? Should we watch the We Are Happy DPRK music performance by children? So this is by children of the Dang Don Mun Kindergarten giving a performance. Or should we watch TLC's Biggest Lies? The kids? Perfect. Okay, we're gonna watch this kids' performance from DPRK Daycare in Pyongyang. They give quite the performance here. DPRK kids are talented, you see, because, well, if you want to get into music, or if you want to get into, like, sports or something, You don't need to have money to do it. Imagine what kind of things you could get into as a youth if money was not an issue for your parents, right? All right, let's watch this. I'm still going to be here. I'm going to do the thing. TLC's biggest lies? I didn't know they covered politics. Don't worry. They do plenty of lying without doing that. Well, we're going to watch what we can of this, and then...
To say that socialism doesn't work is to
We can watch
overlook the
this
fact
over
that
several
it did
parts,
work,
so-
and it worked for hundreds of millions of people.
So once I'm done eating, then we can go on to finish the reading, and then we'll do candy. Larry, did you see my previous comment? Would love to send you a couple of paragraphs from my favorite opening of a book about this. About what? What in particular? Yeah, but yes, I would love to see that. I think I missed your comment. A lot of excitement. Oh, more to your point, it's interesting you bring up peasantry point of argument because the Greek communist movement faced the same struggle, where the city communist despised and looked down upon the country communist. Hence the central struggle between Zachariad's KKE party leader and Idiot Supreme and Eris. Oh, yes, send me that, Dimitri. I will check that out for sure. I will say, Bob, I think you're going to be surprised. The talent of these kids. Okay, we'll watch this while I
유치원
eat.
피아노 교육에서
then we'll continue
선생님에서는
reading
악의
Kim
첫
Jong-il.
포르마를 띄워주는 어머니 선가도 같은 역할을 해야 된다고
우리 어린이들에게 어려서부터 나라를 사랑하는 그 마음을 키워주는 그것이 바로 우리 교양원들의 가장 중요한 임무라고 생각합니다. 그래서
As a
우리는
farm girl, you know
이번에
it's
작품을 하나
side-on.
선정하는 것도 많이 생각하고 바로 적찬가와 같은 우리 애국주의 정신이 많이 집약된 그런 노래를 작품으로 선정하기로 했습니다.
No here, just eating. I love this instrument. What was that you were saying, Bob, about not being able to watch 37 minutes of this? Just joking. I mean, listen to them though.
다원이는 펜글씨를 잘 써서 올해의 경례는 아버지 김정은 스님께 기쁨을 드렸습니다. 그뿐만 아닙니다. 우리 다원이는 피아노도 잘 쳐서 이번 공연에 피아노 독주 조선의 노래를 내놓았습니다.
one motherfucker for all motherfuckers everywhere, you know what I'm saying?
아버지 원수님께서 하시면 또 무슨 기쁨 드릴까? 난 맛있는 우유 먹고 허덩허덩 과지 내 모습을 보여드릴래. 난 키가 그쪽 클로스를 보여드릴래. 원수님 유치원에 찾아오시면 무슨 기쁨을 안겨드릴까? 걷기 촉촉촉촉 샘새기 기쁨 드릴래. 원수님 오시면 기쁨 드릴래.
올라가는 아이들은 같은 교육 내용에 한해서도 받아들이는 속도가 빠르고 그것을 또 활용할 줄 아는 이런 능력이 정답다고 저는 생각합니다. 이렇게 악기를 다루면서 두 손가락을 연주하는 게 어린들이 그 어린의 개발에 아주 큰 역할을 한다고 봅니다.
Alright, Meg. Since I made you wait for it. Yeah, Bob, that's what I'm saying. Like, the way that they just move while playing. Like, whether or not you want to believe me or not, that right there shows that there is no kind of, like, these kids are not being forced to do this. Like, I'm sure they're encouraged to a certain degree, but they absolutely love what they're doing. And they make it obvious. Damn camera. Time to core. Oh, God. Well, Meg, I'm learning this. Soon we'll be playing some MIDI beats soon. MIDI beats soon. I'm learning piano for you all. Okay, for myself too. But I'm doing it for you. So that I can play some music on stream and make some fun stuff other than just what the core can do. And actually add some like synthesizer into it as well. So Meg, because I made you wait, if Mrs. Larry rolled this one. This is a Mrs. Larry roll.
원수님이 보아주신 우산놀이 오늘도 재미나는 유치원의 놀이 시간 나는야 우사 선생 억뷰리는 가로운 옴새쟁이 솔라미가 제일 먼저 배를 쥐고 소리치며 대굴대굴 아이고 우사 선생님 배가 막 아파요. 할머니 철러머리는 떠선을 씻지 않고 사과를 먹었군요. 그러니 이 왕춤을 맞이겠어요. 예, 왕춤이요? 침 받는 게 무서워 달아나요. 내가 정말 우사 같지요. 송진기 먹이 걸고 우주해에서 앉았는데 날 찾아 달려오는 새침대기 껐으니 귀염둥이 인형아기 품에 안고 눈물이 글썽해서 울먹울먹 선생님 우리 귀가 막 열이 나요. 그래요. 어디 좀 퍼져요. 옳고 감기에 걸렸구만요. 그러니 이불을 꽉꽉 덮어주세요. 가는 당무 빨리 주소를 놔주세요. 선생님 고마워요. 울다가 웃으며 인사해요. 내가 정말 우사 같지요. 날라라라 나는야 유치원 우사놀이 제일 좋아. 군수님 도와주신 우사놀이 나는야 제일 좋아요. 좋아요.
우리 어린이들에게는 누구나 다 재능의 싹이 있습니다. 이 재능의 싹을 어떻게 찾아내고 어떻게 개발시켜주는가 하는 것이 바로 우리 교양원들이 몫이라고 생각합니다. 어린이들에게 음을 듣고 느끼고 부르도록 이런 교수 방법을 적용하였습니다. 우리 교양원들이 누구나 다 어린이들에게 품을 들이고 정성을 기울일 때에만 훌륭한 결실을 가져올 수 있다고.
저는 이번 공연을 준비하면서 우리 교양원들이 어린이들을 친어머니 심정으로 교육할 때 그들을 나라의 훌륭한 인재들로 키울 수 있다는 것을 다시금 깊이 느끼게 되었습니다.
교육의 높이이자 교육자의 양심의 높이라고 생각합니다. 우리는 앞으로도 훌륭한 예술인 후배들을 더 많이 키워내겠습니다.
Cognac, just like it sounds, cognac. It has you drink too much cognac and you be just like fucking Jim Leahy when I tried to blow up downtown Dartmouth when I had the ISIS bombs all around me. What happened was Manny Cormier, was Amis probably called him, he set up outside the walls of Paris because he didn't want to pay taxes, and he made the most delicious drink, and guess who loved it? Guess who loved that fucking cognac? Yep. Napoleon Bonaparte loved fucking cognac. As a matter of fact, he used to feed it to all his troops. That's why they fucking lost the Battle of Waterloo. I fucking did a little research. Look, here it is. Battles with the cannon to the right of them, cannon to the left of them, volleyed and thundered. Theirs was not to make reply, theirs was but to do and die. Into the valley of death rode the 600. Oh, for fuck's sake.
TLC may just be the worst channel on TV. It feels redundant to make jokes about its old identity being the learning channel, because as long as I could remember, it's been a place for trash reality shows. Every day of the week, you could watch people upending their real lives to pursue an obsession, such as owning the most Mickey Mouse merchandise.
He is my mouse friend, and I'm his girlfriend.
But every once in a while, they're able to trick the audience into believing they're making something meaningful. I remember Breaking Amish was marketed as an event series documenting former members of the Amish community who defect from their strict and technology-less communities and the culture shock they experience as they arrive in New York City. Yet, it turned out like every single person on that show was lying about who they were, making scenes like this feel really staged.
We're going cell phone shopping. Are you serious? We're gonna text all day long. What is texting?
The leaks have confirmed she knows what texting is. TLC has lied to its audience, ruined the lives of much of its cast, and aired some of the most egregiously fake content on TV. Before, TLC used to be subjected to its dark corner of cable, but now it's on HBO Max, now just called Max, which is the one for HBO according to all of the ads, but it just feels like TLC Max. However, some of TLC's greatest hits risk fading into obscurity because they do not include them on their streaming platforms. Like, how could you want to deny the cinematic beauty that is Sex Sent Me to the ER?
The vacuum hose was attached to his penis. We gotta cut it off. My penis!
You just shouldn't have put a vacuum there, buddy. Yeah, this is Billiam, and today I want to look at some of TLC's most blatant lies. The channel has been around for more than 40 years, but for most of its existence, its brand has been allegedly unscripted content.
Dude, this is a freaking awesome way to communicate.
The Long Island medium has been accused of not actually being psychic and taking advantage of those mourning their loved ones. Extreme couponing has been accused of fraud. And in My Husband Is Not Gay, I'd have to say, the husband seems pretty gay. Then, if it's not seemingly scripted, the question of exploitation is next up. With shows like Toddlers in Tiaras, TLC is such a huge topic that I've decided to tackle it in 2 videos. This first video is about all of the times TLC has been caught explicitly sharing false information. Well, next time, we're gonna chart the TLC iceberg, detailing the channel's most popular, controversial, and obscure shows. So sit back, turn your brain off so you're susceptible to be lied to as we uncover all of those lies. Today's a good day because
Okay. We are gonna watch this after
to me, break
the reading. That's your little tease. That's your little candy tease. This dang thing. Let's see if I put on the white light. Yeah. I think maybe that's the way we're gonna have to do it. Then I can back to batteries on this dying or what? Yeah. All right, back to work, everybody. We're gonna finish up this chapter and then we can continue on with our candy. Fan this back up. I know it looks weird what I just did, but trust me, for me, it helps a lot. We'll start here. The revolutionary idea of the working class emerges as the reflection of the mature demand of history and the revolution in their development. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't, Bop. The revolutionary idea of the working class emerges as the reflection of the mature demand of history and the revolution in their development. When the leader embarked on the road of revolution, a new development was taking place in the struggle of the working class and the masses against exploitation and oppression. On the world arena, the influence of socialism, which had won its first victory, grew strong, and the revolutionary struggle of the working class and the liberation struggle of the peoples in colonies and semi-colonies were intensified sharply. In an attempt to stop the revolutionary advance of the masses and weather the serious political and economic crisis they were passing through, the imperialists further increased their plunder and oppression of the people. In many countries, contradictions and antagonisms between revolution and counter-revolution were intensified, and the masses of the people, whose sovereign rights had been trampled down for a long time, rose up in a struggle for their class and national liberation. A new age was approaching, in which the revolutionary movement made progress in a broad and diversified way on a worldwide scale. In order to advance the revolution, under the new historical conditions, the working class and the people of every country, conscious of being the masters, had to solve all problems in accordance with their actual situation. In our country, this was particularly important matter because of the peculiarities of historical development and the complexity and arduousness of the revolution. The Korean Revolution demanded more urgently that the masses hew out the path of revolution in an independent and creative manner. The Juche idea was created on the basis of such a practical requirement of the Korean Revolution. The revolution is a struggle to meet the masses' desire for independence by enlisting their strength. It is a struggle of the masses to free themselves. When they are armed with revolutionary idea and united into an organized political force, the masses can emerge victorious in the revolution. The duty of revolutionaries is to go among the masses, masters of the revolution, to educate, organize, and inspire them to a struggle. The revolutionary forces, too, should be trained from among the masses, and all problems arising in the revolutionary struggle should likewise be resolved in reliance on their wisdom and strength. Time to throw some shade now. However, the communists and nationalists who were allegedly engaged in the national liberation movement in our countries in the 1920s gave no thought to the need to go among the masses, to educate, organize, and arouse them into waging a revolutionary struggle. But, divorced from the masses, They were only engrossed in the scramble for hegemony and empty talks. They did not unite the masses, but divided them by factional strife. In the first years of his revolutionary struggle, the leader saw through their mistakes and took a road different from theirs, a genuinely revolutionary road, which led him to be among the masses and to rely on them in the struggle. He elucidated the truth that the masters of the revolution are the masses of the people, and that when one goes among them to educate and mobilize them, one will be able to register victory in the revolution. This is one of the starting points of the Juche idea. The revolution in each country should be carried out responsibly by its own people, the masters, in an independent manner and in a creative way suitable to its specific conditions. Independence and creativeness are the inherent requirements of a revolutionary movement, the communist movement. The Korean Revolution, which opened up the age of Juche, could not advance even a step forward unless it was conducted in an independent and creative way from the start. It was a difficult and complex revolution which had to deal with the tasks of an anti-imperialist national liberation revolution, with formidable Japanese imperialism as the target, and those of the anti-feudal democratic revolution simultaneously. It was an arduous revolution, which had to hew out an untrodden path. What is worse? A strong tendency towards flunkyism appeared in those days within our anti-Japanese national liberation movement and the communist movement to hamper the advance of the revolution. The nationalists and self-styled Marxists followed the evil practices of flunkyism and factional strife, which had resulted in the country's ruin in the past. They did not try to carry out revolution by their own initiative, but dreamed of achieving independence by depending on foreign forces. At that time, those who were allegedly engaged in the communist movement formed their own party groups and called frequently at the Comintern to gain its recognition. And they endeavored to imitate mechanically established theories and experience of others, without taking into consideration the historical conditions and specific realities in our country, where a colonial and semi-feudal society was in existence. In this way, flunkyism and dogmatism were very serious obstacles in the way of the revolution. Drawing on serious lessons derived from such flunkyism and dogmatism, the leader clarified the truth that a revolution should be carried out not by anyone's approval or instruction, but by one's own conviction and one's own responsibility, and that all problems arising in the revolution should be solved in an independent and creative way. This is another starting point of the Juche idea. As stated previously, the leader advanced the Juche idea, a new revolutionary idea, on the basis of practical experience and lessons gained in the revolutionary struggle. The leader has conducted ideological and theoretical activities invariably based on the revolutionary practice, and developed and enriched the revolutionary idea and theories in the course of giving answers to problems arising in the revolutionary practice. In other words, he mixed practice with theory. Very important. Well, I'm going to give you a quote at the end of this as a bonus. Only on the basis of revolutionary practice can one apply existing theories in accordance with the interests of the revolution and actual conditions in one's own country, and search for new truths and create new ideas and theories. In his early years of revolutionary activities, the leader was well versed in Marxism-Leninism, but he did not confine himself to applying Marxism-Leninism to the Korean Revolution, but pioneered a new phase of revolutionary theory from a steadfast Juche-based standpoint, and resolved the problems arising in the revolutionary practice from a unique angle. It's okay, you're allowed to just say words. That's what the chat's there for, Bob. The leader discovered the truth of the Juche idea in the course of the struggle against bigoted nationalists and bogus Marxists, worshippers of great powers, and dogmatists, while hewing out a new path for the revolution. Finally, he explained the principles of the Juche idea at the meeting of leading personnel of the Communist Youth League and the Anti-Imperialist Youth League, held at Kowloon in June 1930, and put forward a Juche-oriented line for the Korean Revolution. This was a historical event which heralded the creation of the Juche idea and the birth of the Juche-oriented revolutionary line. At the time of disorder, when national reformism, left and right opportunism, and all other unsound ideas were prevailing, the leader, still in his teens, gained an insight into the trend of the times, the desire of the people, and the law of historical development, expounded the truth of Juche, and thus opened the road of independent development for our revolution. The Juche idea has been perfected as the guiding idea of revolution in our age in the practice of the Korean Revolution. The guiding idea of revolution cannot be made perfect by one effort at a moment. It emerges through the generalization of experience in the revolutionary struggle on the basis of the conditions of the times and history. It becomes perfect as an integrated ideological and theoretical system when its truthfulness is verified and its content is enriched during the protracted struggle. The leader led to victory the revolutionary struggles at different stages and the work in all fields of politics, the economy, culture, and military affairs. In this course, he himself gained a wealth of precious experience and generalized it to steadily develop the Juche idea in a profound manner. The history of the leader, who has led the arduous Korean Revolution for more than 50 years, is a history in which he created the Juche idea and perfected it as a unique ideological and theoretical system in the great revolutionary practice. Yeah, he's talking about the big power worshippers wanting to be basically subservient to USSR or China themselves voluntarily, right? And like I say, well, really USSR at this time. China was engaged in a serious revolution of its own. But yeah, they were like wanting to copy exactly everything USSR did. So, and this is what led to all kinds of factionalism and stuff as well. The leader led to victory. I already read this part. As stated previously, the Juche idea emerged on the basis of the requirements of a new age, when the masses of the people appeared as masters of history and of a rich experience gained in the revolutionary struggle. So it has become the great guiding idea of revolution in our age. Here we go. We are done the first chapter. Next time we read the philosophical principle of the Juche idea.